title is You Don't Know What I Go Through. Sometimes people go through things that we're unaware of. And my niece is here to tell her story on Where Were You? Well, hello, Rachel. How you doing?
I am blessed today, Uncle. How are you?
Simply fantastic, Nisi, and thank you for asking. We were out having breakfast one day, and you had saw what we were doing on Where Were You, and you said you had a story. And I listened to you, and I think your story is very, very worthy to be told. So would you share your story with us, Rachel?
Yes, I will. My story is about me. I was born on March 8th, 1983. I lived in several states. I lived in Georgia, Atlanta, Georgia, twice. Then I moved to Austin, Texas. Then I moved to DC in Maryland. And then I came back here in Denver in 1999. I went to East High School.
You know your uncle's an angel too. So I had to throw that in there. Go on, Nisi. Tell your story.
And I was just wanted to let everybody know who I am. I've been working through different jobs. Right now I'm not working, but I'm trying to do volunteering for right now. So what I'm gonna talk about is my disability, and I want everybody to not take it wrong or not judge me about it. My disability is a learning disability. I've been having this ever since I was born. It's been hard, since I'm 39 now, but ever since then, it's been harder since I was younger. As I gotten older, I have learned to deal with it. I have a hard time telling time, money, budgeting, doing other things, but not as fast as other people. I also have hard time with people who don't take the time to understand me and understand the situation that I have, because they judge people with disability, and I don't want people to judge people with disabilities.
When you say you have a learning disability, could you just for a little bit, Nisi, Rachel, could you just a little bit explain more about all that's involved with your disability?
Yes, it's a learning disability. It means that I learn more different than other people or faster. So it takes me time. You might say it 3 or 4 or 5 times to repeat yourself the same thing that you're saying the first time, and I will get it. But once you say it the first time and then you get frustrated with me, then I have to understand what you're saying. So my mind is not, it's fast, but it's not as fast.
When we be riding together, your mind seems pretty fast to me. You know, you ride with me all the time. Your mind seems pretty fast, but I do notice, I notice, and I'm sure other people notice, and I'm sure that a lot of things you had to deal with in life, with people getting help to help you with your situation. How does that all work out for you?
It's a struggle. It's a struggle, because let me fast forward a little bit. My mom, I'm blessed to have my mom. Thank my mom for everything that she has done throughout my disability, throughout the whole thing. I was one of the kids that went to a school that had two black kids, and that was in the school. I've been in special ed all my life. Um, my mom fighted several districts to get me in to schools that would take people like me. It was hard. I mean, it was really hard on my mom and trying to fight with the teachers and try to figure out what they're not teaching, what they're not, it was hard. But as I went on, it got pretty easier for me because then I can be in a class where they teach you what you need to learn, and they teach you on your pace, not other people's pace, but they teach you on your pace, on your time.
Right.
And I appreciate that because it taught me learning more than I was when I was little. When I was going to elementaries, the teachers didn't want to help me and all that stuff. And then it was just a struggle. And then I was in the class, and then I had to sit there, and I was drawing. And you know how they say draw a family picture of your family? So I draw the figure sticks. So the teacher came up to my mom, and she said to her that, Racheal is drawing figure of, stick of the family, but in a different color. And I was like, okay. So then my mom was like, she didn't understand. And it's like, well, what you want to do, So I appreciate what my mom has done for me throughout my whole entire disabilities yeah, it takes time. Yeah, I struggle. Yes, it irritates me sometimes, but I will get it through it. But I just don't like. I want to be a person that I have overcome it. I have overcome my battles with my disability. I have overcome with the fighting and the struggles and dealing with other people's attitudes and don't want you and push you away and talk about you and looking at you a certain way. I totally just I prayed on it, and I said, God, please just give me a direction that people won't judge me, won't put me down, won't, because I hated that. And I would literally get mad at people because it was just a struggle for me. And by the grace of God, now since I'm 39, I have learned what my every obstacle, and now I'm up there by Jacob's ladder now. So I thank God for everything that He has done. I thank Him for everything that He has shown me. I thank Him for people that, the people that I know, sometimes they don't want to help you. They just push you away. And I have learned that. And when people show your true colors with people who, even if you go to for instance, I was working so many different jobs. And I was nervous about it because I didn't know how people were towards me. I didn't know how they would treat me. I didn't know how they would respond to me. So it kind of made me nervous in a way, but after a few days, they understood, and then they were happy, and they were like, oh, Racheal, we're happy to see you. But then at first I was like, okay, am I going to deal with people judging me again, or am I going to deal with people's attitudes again? It was just like working from job to job to job, and plus going in high school. So that was I was in a working program on top of that, and it was school, then work, then going home, then doing homework, then do it all over again.
Let me ask you a question, because you're talking about school. When you first started school, was this learning disability obvious? Was it evident to everyone? Did Did they know this and didn't have programs for you, or did they discover it as you start going to school?
They started knowing after when I went to school. They didn't know when I was at school. When I was in school, they noticed something was not right.
Okay, and now, so fast forward again, because we want to get back to some of the abuse that people did as well. Now you're in high school, you're on a work program, so by this time, you're in a class that is at your pace.
Yes.
Okay, so I thought that they had agencies and things like that to assist you and your mom. How does that work out?
Well, here's the thing, Uncle. Me and my mom, we worked together. We tried to find things that would better me, with my disability, with the like certain different scenarios. Let's do this. No, that won't work. Let's go here. Let's call these people. Let's see what they can do for you and all this, But every time every time I started wanting to work, it was a letdown because it was just like, okay, I went to this place, they didn't want me. I went to that place, they accepted me. Then I went to another place, it took them a while. So it was just like, but when I started, I was in a working program at East High School. And it was also for me to get grades. It was also for me to graduate. Clayton College, for instance, I was working 2 classrooms when I was working there during East High School, during my 11th and 12th grade. Then I went to Park Hill twice. So then I was still working even though I was still in high school. Then when I got out of high school, I waited a while and then I was working at Park Hill United Methodist Church. So I started working there 2004 and then I got laid off in 2013. So after months and months went by, then I started finding a job at the Performing Arts Complex in Denver. So I started working there. Those people were nice to me. Some of them, yes, they were nice. They brought me in, they accepted me, they taught me things, they taught me how to do the letters and numbers and how many seats there are, the tickets. It was just so phenomenal how these ushers and the people that helped the ushers, that was just so nice. They were just fantastic. But I had an issue with one of the ushers. No, actually I had 2 because one of them, I had two problems actually. One of them was when I was working in the coat room. So they have you doing the tags and then the coats and all that stuff. The lady, she was very rude to me. I didn't appreciate what she said to me. She told me, she's like, this is how the tag goes. You're supposed to put them by number on the hanger. So when people come in with their coats, you're supposed to put the coats on the hanger and then give them a number. So after the show, they're supposed to come get their coats. And so I was like, okay. So then she told me 3 times, and then she was agitated the 3rd time. So then she told me, she's like, are you mentally challenged? Because if so, I'm going to have to teach you a different way. I was like, first of all, you're on an oxygen tank. Why are you saying that to me? It was my first day there, and she said that on my first day.
Wait. Okay, Nisa, calm down. She said this on my first day. That irritated you. But let's be realistic, if I may, Nisa. Okay, if the lady really didn't know you and she's trying to get to know you, do you feel at that time maybe you were being a little sensitive?
When the people look at me a certain way, Uncle, they just totally look at me like I'm mentally challenged, but they don't know who I am. They don't know what I've been, they don't know me. I'm just there to work just like everybody else. So when she said that, I literally just left the courtroom and I went downstairs and I talked to my boss about it, because it was just like, for me, my feelings were hurt, and she didn't really take the time to really understand me. So it's like judge. It's just like judging someone just by looking at them.
Introducing new meat, a very new product for your skin. And oh, for the inside, oh yes, we have something there for you as well. Together, it is a health choice that I'm sure you will enjoy. Check it out, new meat. You probably go through that type of judgment. You probably went through that most of your life.
I have.
And it's probably not just on the job. It's probably out in public, on the bus. I mean, I can't think of all the different places. And they do have people to kind of help you along. I mean, do they really help you?
Well, here's the thing, Uncle. I get tired of trying to, like, when it comes to people trying to help me. All my life I've been put down. All my life I've been judged. All my life I've been talked about. Don't want me there, don't want me to work there. Even my boss, when I was at that job, he was like, I don't think she can do it. I don't think she can make it. Just by looking at me. That's the thing that I have a problem with, when people just looking at me and judging me in a certain way, like I have a mentally challenge, but I don't. It's a disability that people have that is just teaching other people slower than others. It's not to judge, it's not to make fun of, it's not to just look at a person and talk about them and just put them down just like that, just like by just looking at you.
So that's a big deal for you. People just look at you, judge you, and even though there is a serious or disability, you admit that, you're saying that people, the way they respond to you, handle you, talk to you, offends you a lot of times.
Yes. Because as I got older, it makes me, like, when I hear people talk about me, I literally break down. I start crying, or I walk away from people, because I don't know why people do that, but it's just like, I can be a nice person and they can just look at me and just like turn their backs. I can be a nice person and have a good conversation with you, hang out with you, do things with you, and if you look at me and thinking that I have one and you don't even know that I have it and I haven't told you the situation of it, that's judging people. That's judging me, and I haven't even said anything, but that's just judging me. And I feel like when people have disability, any kind of disability, not just mine, any kind of disability, I think that people should take the time out and realize how the way they talk to people. I think they should realize how their feelings are when it comes to people, I feel like other people should understand the situations. Even if you don't tell them and they just look at you, Don't let them do that. I didn't let them do that all my life. I turned around, put my foot down, yelled at them, did everything to them, everything to fight and everything, just because you put me down. But look at you. I mean, look at another person, and then you're like, "Oh, I'll help you," but then you look at me. It's like, no.
It's very sad that a lot of people look at people and judge them just simply on their appearance. It's sad when people disrespect people and I feel treat people differently just because they do have birth defects, learning defects. A lot of people in this world go through what you go through, and it's very good that you're willing to be honest about it, to say what you go through and how the agencies act, how the jobs you went to, how they act. Because sometimes people think this may be like, well, you just have to do it for one day, excuse me. But what you're saying, this is every day of your life. Almost every day you step out the door, there's something waiting for you.
Mhm. I mean, yeah, it could be a good day or a bad day. It depends on the day. Because sometimes I have bad days where I don't want to deal with people, and I shouldn't be like that. But the way I feel like I could be like a happy person going about my day, do what I need to do, and leave. You know. But if you're gonna sit there or say something or judge or something, just even look, people with disabilities need help just like everybody else does. We're not different than you guys. We're not different. We just have things that are more difficult and more slower than others. So I really appreciate if people would not judge us. I really will help the most is when people will help us out instead of just shutting the door in our face or saying something right there when we're standing there, and you're just like, what did you just say? What did she just say to me?
So who's taking care now? What a sugar root out there handling business?
Yes, my mom is taking care of me. She done it all her life, 39 years. My mom has been the most support of my life, more than, I mean, my family as well, but mainly my mom, because she was there for me when I had my hardest times. And I'm not just saying days, that months and years. I'm talking about my hardest times I mean my hardest times. More than anybody would understand. More than anybody would understand. Sometimes I wouldn't say things because it would hurt me. I might be having a bad day and my mom be like, "What's wrong? What's the matter? Who did what? Let's go talk to that person." And I would not even say nothing. I wouldn't even say nothing. But my mom was right there when it happened. She seen things. My mom was there when I had my lowest battle, my lowest battle. Couldn't even go to school. They would push people out with disabilities. They wanted people that were smarter and didn't want people who had that. Do you know how hard that was for my mom to get me into school? I couldn't even go to school. I couldn't. I tried to, but then it was hard. Because they shut me down. They were talking about she's not smart enough. People told my mom that I wouldn't even graduate from high school. She wouldn't even make it. That's what they told my mom about me. But this is what they said. This is what they telling her. They're not going to say it in front of my face. They're going to tell her about it. But, by the grace of God, I thank God.
Amen.
I thank God for my family and my mom. And I thank God for me, too. For birthing, putting me on this earth to understand. And every agency that I went to, it was hard because they were just fighting and wanted it their way and didn't understand me, and I was just tired of it. I was tired of people just, like, not giving me a chance, not wanting to understand, not taking the time to understand. They were just like, no, 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 she can't, no, I don't want her, no.
Well, you can come ride with Uncle Bill anytime. We can go hang out. You all right with me? And old Sugar Root up there, she has done a magnificent, magnificent job. So where would you say you're at now? Like, where's your peace level? We understand that the disability never goes away. You have to deal with that, and it seemed like you accepted that. There's a lot of people with disabilities. Some of them aren't as visible, but they have disabilities. Yours is one that is more visible. And you go through a lot more just because people look at you. I've heard you say that over and over again. They just look at you. They don't even get to know you. They don't even try to understand what it is you have to go through. They just judge you right off the bat. And what you're saying to people, Nisha, is very good because it's something to be able to talk about yourself, even though you have this disability. I really commend you for that. And your mother and your grandmother. Well, I know that you're my niece, so I know you. And I just think the world of you. So, Nisi, out of the agencies you went to, I guess you don't deal with them anymore. Your mom kind of takes care of all of that too now. I guess it's just better for you all to handle it yourself at this stage.
Yes. Me and my mom, she helps me out a lot. Because she doesn't want people to judge me either. She's tired of seeing people judging me.
She don't want her baby to keep being hurt by people.
No.
And you tell them, well, you already know how your Uncle Bill gonna roll up if it gets in my face. So we already know. We know how that's gonna go because I've actually been around you when situations like that has happened. So, like I said, your mommy know, your grandparents know, everybody know how Uncle Bill gonna roll messing with Racheal, okay? And I just love you to death. And if there was anything, Racheal, that you might would say to someone that goes through your struggle, and we're not even getting into a whole lot of other things that like getting dressed, getting on buses or getting through the city or all these kind of things. What would you say to someone that might be feeling a little low or have those feelings of nobody knows me? Do you know what I go through? That's your title. Do you know what I go through? What would you say to someone that's on a low?
I would say this. People out there with disabilities, all disabilities, you're going to have some good days and bad days. Like I have. I have bad days and good days. But I just want you to know that a person like me who has a disability too, I'm here for all of the people who have disabilities out there. And when you have your low days, just make sure that just have a smile on your face. Don't let it get down. Don't let it put you down. Don't have a down day where you're crying and don't want to talk about it, or the teachers or the students are talking about you. just stay strong. You guys gotta stay strong. Like I have. I still deal with it, but I am strong.
Amen.
I used to be weak. I used to didn't want to, didn't want to deal with people, but now I see what, as I'm older, I see what I go through, and it's been a good time. I mean, it's been good. So I'm just saying to you guys, just stay strong, and if you need someone to talk to, just talk to them. Reach out, call them. Your mom, your dad, your grandparents, your cousins, anybody. Just reach out and talk to them. They'll understand you. They're not going to judge you or push you down or say this or say that, because you're stronger than them. If they're going to say words that you don't like, you're stronger than them. Stay strong and have a conversation to anybody that I'm here for all the people who have disabilities. I'm here if you guys need to call me, if you need to reach out to me, just talk. Just have a talk, just reach out. Don't let people just put us down. Put everybody down just because you had a bad day. Just smile and go on about your business. Just have a blessed day.
Have a blessed day. Well, I'm surely going to have a blessed day talking to you today, Nisi. And I really, really thank you for having the courage to come on Where Were You?
I appreciate this, Uncle Bill, because it helps me and it will help somebody else.
And your uncle loves you. You know it.
Yes, I do.
Okay. And I just want to take the time to speak on the behalf of people that have disabilities or may not look like you. Take what she said. Think about these people. They have feelings. They're just like us. And before we judge and before we say things, think about what we're doing. Just show a little love. Take care. Well, another episode of Where Were You? And we would like to thank our guests for this evening. Also want to thank New Me. New Me helps sponsor Where Were You? So go on and check it out. New Me /Arkway. Also, go on and hit that like. Go on and hit subscribe. Go on and hit that share. Go on and leave a comment. And if you find anyone that has a story, let me know. And hey, you bless someone today.